We normally start by talking about the philosophy of the brand, the meridians, the systems that we work, and afterwards we talk about key organs and how to stimulate it with the root products. Root products are the first ones that Laporte have developed, and the purpose was when he started working on the brand, the purpose was to stimulate the key organs. So he did several biopsies in order to realize what kind of main actives, essential nutrients were needed for each organ to work properly, to keep itself healthy and young for longer. So the root products are products that he first developed with that aim. Each product stimulates a specific organ or several organs. We normally say that we are gathered here, and it seems weird, but that's the truth. We are gathered here because there was this man that developed several products with a very special aim. We are going to begin the seminar telling the story of this man and how he managed to develop such a wonderful group of products for us to work and to give the best results possible for our clients. And of course, we know that this man is no longer with us, but his family put together all his legacy and carry on that legacy until today, and we hope for many years to come. So first we talk about Anna Laporte. That was the one who started this new path with a great amount of effort, taking into account that she was the wife of Mr. Laporte, but she never did really have any direct connection with the management of the company. She helped Mr. Laporte with the development of the products, with the tests, with the translation in seminars. She was the right arm of Mr. Laporte, but she didn't have any experience in management the company because he was the one who did it all. So when she needed to put everything together, it was a very big challenge, but she managed to do it. So we have here the assurance that she has continued with his philosophy, the perfection, the excellence when we talk about image, and also the assurance that we are going straight ahead to a path that not only connects us with the beauty technicians, but also connect us with the medical world. And nowadays we have David Laporte, already the CEO of Laborers, and the one that nowadays commands everything. So of course he has grown up inside this world. He normally says that he grew up inside a pot of sucrose, so he's the result of the absolute result of the whole philosophy of GERnétic. And so he has the weight to carry on this legacy of respecting the philosophy that put together this brand, but also to keep on giving GERnétic the luxury image that Dr. Laporte showed us, but also to guarantee the growth of this company, the growth of the brand, and the continuation of what was the purpose of Mr. Laporte when he developed this brand. But what is so different about GERnétic when we compare GERnétic with other brands? Because we talk about GERnétic in a very single way, but the truth is we have thousands of new brands, old brands in the market, and of course we have to approach the difference between us and the other brands in order to explain how we are capable of being in this place in the market. And for so long, we already have more than 50 years in the global market. So the truth is that GERnétic always had this connection with the medical world. We just need to think how everything started. GERnétic, the beginning of GERnétic was the development of products in order to stimulate the regeneration of burned skins. So, of course, since ever, we have been very close to the medical world, and we have been very close to the integration of the GERnétic work in terms of aesthetic and the medical world in terms of surgery, medical procedures, regeneration of the skin afterwards. The beginning of everything was the way of thinking of Dr. Laporte. He was really a very ahead thinker, because we are talking about a brand who was developed in the 60s of the last century, and everything was very different. He didn't have anything to work on when we were talking about the regeneration of the skin, and he loved women, he loved the body, he loved biology. So he developed a way to study our body, to study our organs, to understand what was aging us and what is aging us. And we have approached several issues that put together, they give us the whole concept of aging and how to prevent it. This is not easy, because we have certain, how do you say, life habits that are very difficult to change. And worse, to say to a client, you need to change this, you need to change that. But I did this since ever, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. How am I going to change now? Nowadays, everyone is talking about mindset, change of mindset. The truth is that if we really want something, we need to approach it in a different manner and a different way. And GERnétic teaches a little bit about it. So we have started, of course, in the hospital world. He worked very hard in the organs with biopsies to understand how we work, what do we need to work in a proper way. And then, of course, he studied other areas in order to be able to develop products that inside had those same elements, those same essential nutrients that were needed to effectively maintain the body working in a healthy way and keep the body young for longer. But we also have, because we are in the world of cosmetics, of aesthetics, we also have another commitment to our clients. It's the good feeling of trying a product, the good feeling to have a treatment. It's not just a treatment in its global way of work, but it also to feel good, because feeling good is also a part of the mindset necessary in order to keep our body healthy. And so we put together all these things and we developed GERnétic method. GERnétic is not a word that exists in the world. No dictionary has this word, because this is a word that Dr. Laporte built together with two scientists that for him completely explain the philosophy of GERnétic. And we are talking about gerontology and we are talking about GERnétic. So gerontology is a science that studies how we get old. And understanding this, it's a very important part of our work. And GERnétic is the study of the unity of human body, the cell. So when we understand how a cell works and what does it need to work well, healthy, we discover the secret of mankind. So since the beginning of times with GERnétic, we work with understanding the composition of the key organs that are unbalanced because there are lack of some nutrients that for some reason we are not giving our body when we eat. We work and we developed a way of doing a protocol together with our diagnosis. This is the most important tool that we have in order to prepare a good protocol with all the products that the client need to be comfortable, to be healthy, and to feel well with herself, with her skin. And so with our products, we have the guarantee that we work in what we call a synergy of stimulation. Normally, when clients buy a product in the supermarket or even a pharmacy, we have an issue. We look to the formula of the product, and normally what we see is only 1, 2, at most 3 actives. Everything else is components to put together the cream, not specific actives that are really going to work and have results on what we need. With GERnétic, we have the opposite. We have a product that is very rich in the composition of active ingredients. And then we have underneath the minimal essential components to keep the cream together. So we have a very rich component of actives that are the ones that are acknowledged by our body. We mean vitamins, we mean trace elements, we mean amino acids, and everything that can stimulate biological or biochemical processes in our body, like extracts of vegetable extracts, or even developed in lab but natural as it can be, components that the only purpose is to stimulate the biological process that we need to happen in order to produce those essential nutrients and those biological processes that are going to produce what we need in order for the cells, in order for the organs, in order for the structures, the systems to work well. Dr. Laporte always said that 99% of all skin problems are normally have to do what is happening inside our body. So when we have deficiencies in our system, when we have dysfunctions in any of our organs or systems, what happens is that our skin shows that unbalance and it doesn't look nice. So sometimes Dr. Laporte said that he didn't care about the skin because he knew that if everything inside is well, the skin will be splendid. He also said that aesthetics, the outside of us, is the result of the organic and psychic life of the individual. We outside are the result of what we eat, because that's how we put inside of us all the nutrients that we need, but also how we think, how we live. This is a combination that could be amazingly healthy or amazingly bad. And so when we get to approach the conclusions of our work, we need to approach in a very specific way. We treat from the inside out. So we treat the cause. We don't treat the effect. We treat the effect as a secondary part of our treatment because it's the final result of what we start by treating from the inside out. So we have to, as the key treatment, the key result is that we stimulate the skin. So we compensate, we balance the deficiencies of our cells, of our system, and all of these through the skin. So we use the skin as a means of penetration. And how can we do this? Of course, the products are developed in the chemical way that they are very small, but we also use vehicles to transport our actives in order to make them penetrate better. And we have 3 ways of doing this. This is in Portuguese, I'm sorry, I'm going to explain it. It's the main way is, of course, the cellular route. So it crosses directly through the stratum corneum and it gets inside our extracellular matrix. But we also have the intercellular route. So between the cells. And also we use from some kind of molecules, we use also the transfollicle route. This means our actives can penetrate through the hair follicle and also the sweat gland. And when we approach this question of treating the cause in order to have a result on the effect, we may approach 4 main causes. So here, I believe that nutritional cause and lifestyle are the main ones. Still, we need always to approach the whole picture. And in this case, we need also to approach the individual physiological system. So we have DNA, and we have to understand that we are all human beings, so we are all equal, but not so equal when we eat something, when we treat our body in a certain way, when we change our life's habits. It may be good for my colleague, for my family, someone in my family, but it may not be good for me. And I have to understand that difference. This is that old question that, oh, my friend uses that cream, so I think that cream is good for me. Maybe, maybe not. We don't have all the same type of skin, but we even, more important than that, we don't have all the same response and the same metabolism. We don't eat all the same food. We have different tastes, and those tastes may imply that we are different. We have different ways of managing things. So we have to understand that in spite of being humans, we have a little bit of difference between us. So the nutritional cause, well, this is what we eat. So it's through our food that we put inside of us all of what our cells need. But it's also through food that we sometimes put inside of us the venom that our cells run from. So we have to approach that issue in a very simple way. You know what is good for you, and you know what is not. And you have to be conscious of that. Because if you want to keep on eating something that you know it's wrong for you, it's okay. If you are okay with the consequences of it. If you are not, maybe you should think to change something and start eating something that is good for you. So when we approach this to a client, we always approach like this. So this is good for you. Normally, this is good for you, or this is good for the human being in general, and this is not. Well, but I like so much to do that. Okay, so keep on doing it. No problem. You just need to realize what this is doing to your body and understand that keeping doing that, you are not able to change anything, in spite of using the best products in the world and doing the best treatments in the world. It's not possible. And the lifestyle, the same. Lifestyle, you know, you have to do exercise, you have to sleep well, you shouldn't drink alcohol, you shouldn't smoke. Okay, I know everything, but I'm not in the mood to walk or to do exercise. I'm not in the mood to sleep. I want to see movies. I want to go to parties. I want to, okay. But you need to understand that sleep, not sometimes. When I say sometimes, because if you don't eat, you need to eat. But the truth is, if you have a normal life, sleep nowadays is more important than food. Because in the sleep, you put together and you produce the right substance, the hormones that you need to live. If you don't sleep from 10 p.m. until 2 a.m., you lose a very, very important part of the production, for instance, of the hormone of growth. That's where you regenerate your body. If you don't sleep that time, even if you sleep after 2 a.m., you will never produce them. So you sleep, you say, I don't sleep. I sleep from 2 a.m. until 12 or 1 p.m. to the other day. Okay, you slept 12 hours. Okay, but you didn't sleep the time that you needed in order to produce those kind of nutrients, those kind of components that are so needed in our body. And you have to realize that also. If you want to keep on doing what you do, it's okay, but you need to realize that you are going to get old much faster than a person who sleeps the right amount of hours in the right period of time. And it's okay. But we have discovered, thank God, a new science that help us to realize that we can change everything. It calls epigenetics. Epigenetics is a science, a wonderful science that teaches that we have information printed in our cells, pre-printed in our cells. But the truth is, if we change our lifestyle and if we change our nutritional income, and with that, we need to change also, once again, our mindset. What we accomplish with that is that we are going to rewrite the genetic code in our cells. And what we get? We get a much healthier body. So, with all this said, we need to approach that these are the fundamental methods of GERnétic. So, we do the diagnosis of the external effect. We identify the key organ attached. We understand how this organ is composed because Dr. Laporte teaches us. And we use the skin and we use the blood and use the meridians to get the product that we need in order to stimulate that key organ, for us to treat the cause and to have result in the effect. So when we talk about GERnétic, we always remember this: equilibrate, remove deficiencies, and nourish. This is the basic line that we can, in a very quick way, summarize GERnétic. So, in order to work the key organs, we need to work the systems, because they are not alone, right? We are a bunch of systems working together as one. So, we can divide this work in three main systems: our digestive system, our endocrine system, our circulatory system. Of course, they are connected. So if one is not working well, of course, the other ones will be unbalanced as well. But still, with the knowledge that Dr. Laporte gave us, we are able to find out which are the main needs to rebalance. And we may rebalance several systems at the same time. We'll see. So in the digestive system, we normally give more attention to these three organs, because they are the ones who normally are very stimulated, not in a good way, or saturated because of our food intake, or our life habits, as we talked about. So liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. The truth is that the liver is the one who is going to, for once, make the synthesis possible of the nutrients. And the other part is that he's the one who's going to manage what is released in terms of nutrients to our body. It's a filter. So that's why liver gets saturated so easily during our life. When you talk about endocrine system, this is not hard because we have all the glands here. So we stimulate directly each and every one of the glands with some of our products. This may be sometimes difficult to make clients understand. We are talking almost as a medicine, but we are not. We are a cosmetic brand. So that's the main difficulty that we sometimes have, to make them understand that we as a cosmetic product are developed to be able to have effect in a very deep way. So just to remember that ovaries, they are the ones who stimulate the production of estrogens in us women. Mammary glands are the ones who receive the message from the epiphysis in order to transmit them to the ovaries. The thyroid is responsible for our general metabolism. Then we have the adrenal glands. They are the ones who produce adrenaline and cortisol. They may sometimes be the very ones responsible for the difficulty to lose weight because of this production, the high production of cortisol and adrenaline. It has to do with, once again, with mindset, the way that we lead with stress. The epiphysis or pituitary gland, same thing. It's, well, this is a computer that manages everything, that manages the other glands. So if she's not working well, you may think that we may understand what happens to everyone else. Thymus is, it's a gland that normally is not very much taught. We only hear when physicians talk about thymus in a child because it's when it's measurable, it's a little bigger. In adult, thymus is very, very, very small. And the truth is that it's getting smaller as we get old, because it's a gland that it does not have the capacity of regeneration, so it just keeps losing the size until it disappears. And when it disappears, it's our time to go. Circulatory system. This is one of the most important ones in order to stimulate the others, because we can do anything if our actives don't get to our cells. And so we stimulate the lymphatic system, we stimulate the blood system with the venous system and the arterial system, and then, of course, we stimulate the electrical system or the meridians, as you want to call it. Sometimes we have a very hard time to make clients understand what is the electrical system and meridians. They sometimes think that is something odd. Maybe you have tried to touch someone and get electrical shock. Well, that's electricity. We are walking batteries. And when we touch someone, we can pass that electrical part. So with this said, we professionals, when we apply the product in a client, we are making contact. As we are two batteries involved, of course, we have exchange of electricity. And this electricity is very, very important to improve the penetration of our products, to guarantee that those products arrive at the cells as we wanted them. So sometimes it's difficult to make clients understand, sometimes not. It depends on the kind of clients, but it's a very important issue to approach because it's easier to understand how the products get help to be inside our body. And of course, to finish the philosophy of GERnétic, we need to approach that we stimulate everything, organs, we stimulate systems, but the important thing of them all is this, is our cell. If you're not able to stimulate the cell, we are not able to do anything. And sometimes laughing, I say, okay, if you're not able to do this, just go home, bye. Because it's true. If we don't approach the basic of our identity, the basic of human being is the cell, we are not able to do anything else.
Visit our website to claim your free trial pack or schedule a consultation or in-salon demonstration.